Westmoreland Community Connections is a presentation of St. Anne Home.
Welcome to Westmoreland Community Connections, a look at issues and happenings on Classic Hits 107.1 WHJB. Here now is your host, Chad Amond, President and CEO of the Westmoreland County Chamber of Commerce.
Hello and welcome to Westmoreland Community Connections. I'm your host, President and CEO of the Westmoreland County Chamber, Chad Amond. I'm delighted to have Melanie Ribblet and Carol Durika. They are interactive with the Derry Township Agricultural Fair. Ladies, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having us.
We're enjoying it.
Well, it's starting now. So, Carol, give me your background and how did you get connected with the Derry Township Ag Fair?
Well, the Derry Ag Fair, when it started out, was held at the Derry Township, or down Derry High School. 2 years later, they were looking for a place to have the fair, and my parents owned a farm right outside of New Derry. And as a result, my parents gave them permission to rent about 10, 20 acres for the fair. So it's been a family thing since back then, 30 years or so. I, at the time, was living in Washington, D.C. when this all happened. And after retiring, come back here to live in Derry Township, in the last year, I've become a member of the fair, even though prior to that I was in the background and volunteering and helping out where I could help out. But right now I'm a member and I'm actively involved with it.
Oh, good. Well, that's setting the bar pretty high, Melanie.
Yes, it does. Carol's dad, Shorty Durika, was a big impact at the start of the fair. In fact, my fondest memory of showing at the fair was when he actually sat down and milked a goat with us. It was great. He really got involved with the kids, and he really wanted to see this in the community. So it was an honor to know him before
he passed away.
Well, growing up in Derry Township, this is an important thing for me. But give the listeners some background for the fair's history.
When I first moved out to Shorty's property and Durika family's property, we started with one tent, had some livestock in it, and we had a small little carnival and a few food vendors. And since then, we have individual tents for different livestock. The whole front of the fair is full of vendors. The carnival has become much larger. We have bands every night. It's just grown to a big open family event and has really taken part of his property and growth of the kids showing up with their livestock and promoting agriculture right in Derry Township and the surrounding communities.
If you want to go on to the Derry Township Ag Fair, it's Derry, TWP, Fair.com, Derry, DERRY, TWP, Fair.com. Carol, what is your perspective on the history of the fair?
It's grown. A lot of people like the fair. They can bring the children out to the fair to participate, to see the animals. It's a small family-oriented fair as opposed to the bigger county fairs. And it gives them a chance from neighbors to see neighbors. During that week, a lot of people come to the fair for fair food. There are a lot of families, especially the older families, who like to come in, sit down, and buy the greasy food and enjoy themselves and talk to their friends and that sort of thing. It's kind of a gathering. We also get to sit there and talk about, well, is it a dry year at the fair or is it a wet year at the fair?
Oh,
and that's always an exciting adventure too.
So how did you ladies get connected with the fair?
In high school, I was part of the Derry FFA, and at that time, our advisors had told us about the fair and how to take our animals to the fair to support the community. And since then, we started that year. A few of us seniors had started a junior fair board to try to be more active members within the fair. And then I guess when you graduate, you just kind of continue on and became a fledged fair board member. Sadly, I did take a little bit of a break, but it doesn't take long to get pulled right back in, especially since, like we've said repeatedly, it's such a family affair. Not only is it a family fair to come to and watch and be able to take your younger kids to, or the older seniors come and it's not that big for them to walk around and be able to enjoy, but even being involved. Almost all of our members, it's a family. There's a family there helping to set it up. There's a family there helping to run it. So it really is what brings us all back.
Carol, you gave some of your history of the background, but how did you get connected with the fair?
Well, because the fair was on the family property, my dad was involved, and when you talk to him every week, he'd say this was going on with the fair, that was going on in the fair. And he always made it sound like fun. The other thing was Derry Ag Fair, different from the county fairs, is for younger people. We have kids who are 3, 4, 5 years old showing animals at the fair, where you don't have that at the county fair. So my dad always enjoyed that, watching the little kids. You have a 200-pound hog being shown by a 4-year-old walking around a show ring. So he enjoyed all those things. I grew up in 4-H when I was younger, so that, as Emily said, it gets into your blood and you want to participate, and that's why you still stay involved, because you like being around the animals, you like being around those events. When we were younger as kids, the week of the fair was really our vacation time for us farm kids, because we were away from home. We weren't out making hay or milking cows and that sort of thing. So that's why. And when I came back to Derry Township after retiring, then you needed something to do and fill in, and it keeps me active. So that's why I'm involved with the fair.
I mean, tell the listeners where the fair is held. I mean, I know, but it's held in technically New Derry, right? Yeah, but if a listener wants to come to the fair, where is it held?
We are located on 982, right outside of New Derry. If you're coming from Latrobe, if you're coming from from 22, you would take 982 toward New Derry, and it's about 5 miles from the 22, located out there. There's a nice sign that says Derry Township Ag Fair, and you'll see all the tents and the carnival, and there's a nice pond there. You could go bass fishing on Saturday. There's a bass tournament on the 20th of July. So you'll see the things that are going on there, and if you came out on the Friday night, which is the 19th, you can see the fireworks. Nice.
We're talking with Melanie Ribblet. She is she sits on the fair board member, and Melanie Ribblet and Carol Durika. What is the fair's mission? I mean, it impacts the community and Derry Township and Westmoreland County and probably southwestern Pennsylvania.
One of the things in the beginning is, as we've stated about Shorty watching the little kids, was a lot of the ag fair was used as a teaching fair or a stepping stone at that point for these agricultural related students and young folk to be able to learn what it was to go to the fair, learn what it was to take care of their project and bring it to a fair. It was a stepping stone to get them into their 4-H program, their FFA program, before going to the large county level that's much more competitive and a lot bigger. Since then, even though that is still there, we do have a little bit more competitiveness with the children and whatnot in the livestock, but that basis is still there. This is a smaller fair for members and families to join and come in and show, whether it's a clear down a needlecraft or something from their garden. It gives them a learning experience before stepping up into the larger.
It also helps too, because we have the younger children, you see the families bonding more because the children need help showing that animal, learning how to show that animal. And so when you have the pig show or the goat show or anything like that, when you have a 3-year-old or a 4-year-old in the arena showing the animal, parents are usually there with them, helping them. So they're not there by themselves. So in a sense, it's a bond between mom and dad and the child, taking care of that animal and working together as one. And it's nice to watch when you watch mom in the ring helping the little ones show their animals in that ring.
And that's probably pretty cute for a 3 or 4-year-old to show a goat or a pig or something like that, right?
Right, it is. It is very cute. And that's also where some of our older members are older that have been to the county fair level too. It's nice watching them because they're more relaxed and they actually get in and help some of these younger kids as well. Mm-hmm. And that is something that we need to grow on, and we like to see and emphasize on that it's about working together and watching some of these older members, reaching out and helping a younger one. It's just great.
Obviously, any event or any fair or any organization has to be sponsored, and they have to have vendors, and they have to have profitability. And so share with the listeners who are the sponsors, who are the vendors, and who is interactive with the Derry Agricultural Fair, and how many committee members serve, and how many people attend the fair?
You have a lot of questions.
That's probably a long question.
You have a lot of questions.
Well, we'll kick it off with the sponsors, right?
The sponsors, we have 5 major sponsors. Graviac, Chevrolet, I can't remember them all.
Ridgeview Heating and Air Conditioning helps us with Kids Day, Farm Bureau Day, Bullseye Firearms and Gun Vault, Line-X of Latrobe, and then we have a new one. It's Derry Community actually is helping us.
That is the Derry Township Supervisors helping, yes.
Yeah.
And then from there we have a number of sponsors that help us when we prepare our Derry Fair book. We have sponsors who will put ads in the magazines or the fair book for us. There's a number of those organizations that provide the funds for that. We have another one that we're working on right now is at the fairgrounds. We have what we call the sign towers, and people provide support by paying for a spot to advertise there. And it's all the local, anyone in the area who would like to support us are doing that. And in addition to that, we have a couple of smaller sponsors for Wednesday, which is senior night. We're having freebies for the seniors where anyone 65 or older can come and pick a pill bottle off of the pill tree, and they will receive a free prize. We have the Pizza Barn restaurant who's donating to the prizes, and we have Yinzer Magazine, which is local out of Latrobe. They're also donating, and we have several others who we're talking to about donating and help sponsoring that event, where the seniors will come. They can either get a gift basket, or they can get a gift card or cash or a lottery ticket. They'll just pick a pill bottle off the tree and see what prize that they win. The other sponsors that we have are a lot of family members doing little things, giving a little bit of money where or gifts or things like that, where they'll come and they'll buy a lottery ticket, and they don't want, or not a lottery ticket, a raffle ticket, and rather than taking the change, you'll say, I'll give it to the fair, donate it to the fair. So we
nice.
have a lot of those people doing those things. So there's a lot of support, and we really do appreciate it, and sometimes we don't say it enough, but there's a lot of little things. And even the kids, some of them, then when they buy things or do things, they'll say, I'll just keep it. Our junior fair board has a building where they sell milk and tea and things out of sandwiches. And a lot of people who buy and support them will say, keep the change. So it's all the little nickels and dimes that help keep us going.
That's a good thing. You're listening to Westmoreland Community Connections on Hometown Classic Hits 107.1 WHJB. We'll be right back after these messages.
This is Westmoreland Community Connections on Classic Hits 107.1 WHJB. If you have a suggestion for a topic, or if your nonprofit organization would like to be featured on this program, call us during regular business hours at 724-216-1200.
Westmoreland Community Connections is a presentation of St. Anne Home.
Welcome back. You're listening to Westmoreland Community Connections on Hometown Classic Hits 107.1 WHJB. I'm your host, Chad Amond, President and CEO of the Westmoreland County Chamber of Commerce. Our guests today are Melanie Ribblet and Carol Durika. They serve on the Derry Agricultural Fair. It's going to be hosted on July 14th to the 20th. And Melanie, give the listeners some idea of the schedule for the fair.
Okay, well, it starts on July 14th, which is Sunday, and it's Linex of Latrobe Day. Our fair will be, that's when all the animal exhibits come in that morning, and the fair officially opens at 4 o'clock with our opening ceremonies and queen coordination. New this year, we'll have garden tractor pulls. If you're not interested in that, we have a 4-H dog show.
What is a garden tractor pull? I mean, I don't know that, but...
most people are familiar with the regular tractor pulls, and this is just a smaller scale.
Cool.
They really bring in their different souped-up garden tractors and whatnot, and they have a pulling contest just like the big ones.
Oh, cool.
So we're really excited to have them this year.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. We have, on the stage, we have Just Enough Rope Band. In the kids' tent, we have Weird Eric's Magic Show. He'll be there a few times throughout the week. Kids love him. They seem to really enjoy watching him.
Magic show.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
On Monday, starts our judging of our livestock. We have our market shows, a poultry show. In the evening, in the arena, we have an open horse show. We have a band to be announced. Still working on that. On Tuesday, it's Ridgeview Heating and Air Conditioning and Kids Day. We really started this Kids Day just a couple years ago. There's a scavenger hunt throughout the fairgrounds for the children. So make sure you stop at the kids' tent, or our bingo tent, actually, and get your information. And the kids go throughout the fair, and they fill out a card, and they take it back. And then there's prize bags and stuff for all the kids until they run out. So that happens that evening. And then we have a Power Wheels demo derby, and that is really cute to watch. Very cute to watch. The kids come with their Power Wheels, and the younger kids, and they actually have a demolition derby. It's a lot of fun.
Wow.
Wednesday is Farm Bureau Day. Farm Bureau comes out and does a whole bunch of different activities and demonstrations for agricultural safety and just all the things in agriculture that they can bring some new highlights that'll happen during that. During the day, we have our sheep show and a rabbit show. The 4-H group is coming in the evening to do a rocketry demonstration. They came to Bunny Fest, and that seemed to be a big hit. So they're coming back to the fair to open that up even more. On Thursday, we have it's our Bullseye Firearms Gun Vault Day. During the day, we have our cattle shows, dairy and breeding. In the evening, we have the quad rodeo, milk chugging contest, animal dressing. That is really cute. The kids bring in their pigs and their cows and their horses and their goats, and they dress them up. The child or the member is dressed to go along with the theme with their animal, and you never know what they pull out.
Oh, wow.
Some go to extremes and really have them all decked out. And
yeah, give it an example. Oh, I put you. I painted you into the corner, right?
Well, no, there is a bunch. We had the Goldilocks, and they came. Then they did that. They had the goat dressed up as Goldilocks, and the child was dressed as the wolf. So kind of switched teams.
Yeah.
One year we had a goose in a car, and they had a goat pulling the milk truck. So those kind of things are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
In the evening, we have some bands on our stages again, and there's a square dance opening. So that's kind of fun. Those who never square danced before and kind of look past it, and they'll stop and they'll watch. And we have a 4-H square dance team comes and helps with that. So they show you how to do some of the dances, and the caller comes. You'd be really surprised on the people that stop and look, but they're actually can come get involved and come do it. And it's a lot of fun. They really do have fun. It's something that you wouldn't normally do. So come try it. On Friday is our Gravyak Chevrolet Performance Day. We have fireworks, and the Andy Davis Band is on the stage. We have a fire and EMS events going on that evening. Our premier showman is that night. And again, if the fireworks are that night, provided it doesn't rain. So we're all crossing our fingers that stays away.
Well, it's rain or shine, right?
The fair is rain or shine, but the
fair.
Fireworks is not so much. And then Saturday, sadly, is the end. That is our last day of the fair. That's the day some people look forward to because it's been a long week, but it's also sad because a lot of the friends you've made and stuff are you're leaving them. But on Saturday is our Derry Community Days, and we have the bass tournament and a 4-H archery contest. We have an open agility dog contest. Our 4-H, our Derry Township Ag Fair market sale is that evening at 7 o'clock. That's where all the market animals will go through a sale and are available to whoever wants to come bid on them. You can take them home as pets. You can take them home and put them in your freezer. You can donate them back to scholarship funds. That's a big draw. That's what some of these kids came for directly. They took a project animal in that maybe they can't have all year, but they can do it for a couple months, and they bring these animals in. They get them ready for market or to show them to the best that they can, and then now they're up for auction for whoever wants them. And then at the end of the night at 11 o'clock, our fair ends, and we get ready for the 2020 fair.
Wow. It's a broad spectrum. I mean, it's like taking a sip of water from a fire hydrant. all of those events. But what is your favorite event for the fair? I mean, I was impressed with all of the events, but I mean, it's your favorite event?
Well, I didn't even say everything that's there. There is so much that goes on all of our different stages and everything. So being involved in the fair as we are, I can't even pick a favorite. I'm involved personally with the dog stuff, and I'm involved personally with the goats and the sheep. Sometimes I feel like I don't see much more of the other fair, much more of the rest of the fair, but my biggest thing is to have something there to watch the community. I love talking to the people that come through. What did they do to the ears to those goats? It's so much. It's about educating. It's about being with the kids and watching them educate. My 5-year-old daughter tells them, no, that's how they're born, and she'll proceed to continue to tell you everything about it. And that's my favorite part of the fair. Not necessarily just that one thing. It's the watching of the growth of the people there.
There's a lot of things that I like. 2 things that we didn't really touch on was we hand out 2 scholarships to members of the fair. The first one is to the Queen. There's a $500 scholarship. So the young lady who is now serving as the 2018 Fair Queen, Derry Township Fair Queen, when she completes her reign on Sunday the 14th, she will be given a scholarship for $500. The market sale, we hand out, in memory of my father, a $500 scholarship for anyone who's going on to school. And they were conducting interviews this past weekend, so it'll be interesting to see who wins that particular scholarship. Those are kind of nice to see, especially the parents get all excited when their children have won these scholarships. Other things that's going to be fun this year is we have a dunk tank this year. So we're waiting to see who's signing up for the dunk tank and who we can put into the water.
Well, you're listening to Westmoreland Community Connections on Hometown Classic Hits 107.1 WHJB. We're talking with Melanie Ribblet and Carol Durika. They are participants in the Derry Township Agricultural Fair. If you wanted to learn more, they have a number, 724-989-5022, 724-989-5022, or go on their website, DerryTWPAGFair.com. That's Derry Township Agfair.com. Ladies, how does the Ag Fair impact Derry Township, the Derry Borough, and all of Westmoreland County? How many attendees I don't have the audit, but how many attendees do you get each year?
Officially, last year we had around 4,000 people.
Wow.
And it's hard to count some of these people because they don't come in one night. They're coming in with a weekly pass so that they can come up a couple nights during the week for their supper or dinner or just to babysit the kids, and they can let them run wild. We are involved with the supervisors. This year we're offering the supervisors contribute to the fair, and what we're doing is offering it as a return to the community and knocking a little bit off the price for admittance. So we have a lot of activities or people within the community who take part in the fair.
Well, the Derry Township Agricultural Fair is going to be hosted July 14th to the 20th. July 14th to the 20th. If you want to go online, DerryTWPAgFair.com, and you can go on their Facebook page, Derry Township Agricultural Fair. Just search it on Facebook. Any last things that you want to make sure that the listeners know about? July 14th to the 20th, and you have to go, and you have to bring the kids. I mean, that's I didn't know. I've gone to the Derry Township Ag Fair many years, but I didn't know that it was somewhat focused on kids, and that's an important thing.
It really is. It is very important for agriculture. Agriculture is unfortunately a dying employment, and the only way to keep that going is to involve these younger folks, get them interested, even small scale. Not all farming has to be large scale farms, large scale dairies. Every little bit counts. And when we're talking about that, agriculture is such a broad spectrum that, you can be doing agriculture in an office setting if need be. And the best place to get these kids involved is something like this. That's the only way that our industry is going to continue into the next centuries, and how we're going to feed people and how we're going to house them, because it all comes back to that. So if we can install something fun, something family, something into them young, hopefully they hold that into their heart, into their minds, and when they continue to grow, that's where we're going to be.
One of the things we haven't mentioned, we've talked about the events taking place and kids being involved, is the people who exhibit at the fair are not necessarily from Derry Township. They're not from Latrobe. They're not from they're from Greensburg, Delmont. We have Shalakta, Indiana. We've got people from all over. There's some people from Somerset who come up and show at the fair. So we have a wide variety, whereas if you go to your county fairs, it's normally people within the county. But we've got people from several different counties coming in with their children to show at our fair, and that makes it fun too with the diversity that we have.
So that impacts Derry and Westmoreland County and all of southwestern Pennsylvania. Thank you very, very much, ladies, for being on the show. if you mark it on your calendar, Derry Township Agricultural Fair, July 14th to the 20th, and search it on Facebook, Derry Township Agricultural Fair, and go on their website, derrytwpagfair.com. You've been listening to Westmoreland County Community Connections on Hometown Classic Hits 107.1 WHJB. Join us next week, same time, same place, for another edition of Westmoreland Community Connections. Thanks for listening, everyone.
This has been Westmoreland Community Connections, a look at issues and happenings in and around Westmoreland County. Join us again next week on Classic Hits 107.1 WHJB.
Westmoreland Community Connections is a presentation of St. Anne Home.